I'm Abby,
And I'm Anna.
and this is Serious Beef.
Welcome.
What's our beef today?
You got the beef. What's
I do.
your beef?
I do.
Okay, hit me with it.
I'm tired. I'm tired of the soup stigma.
Oh.
There's
Okay,
a stigma.
what's the stigma?
There's a stigma that only old people can like soup. That they're like, well, once you hit like 30, then you start to love soup because like you're old. No, soup is for everyone.
It's true. It's true. Soup is for everyone. You're right. There is a bit of a stigma. I will agree with you on that.
I feel like people assume, only old people like soup. I'm not here for it. Soup is delicious. We're in fall.
Good soup.
There's good soups.
It's true. There's some really good soups.
I wrote down a list because I figured today we can go over some fall recipes for during spooky beef. Maybe some of our cooking snafus, if you will. But, we've got potato soup. Ashley makes amazing potato soup.
Not just any potato soup. It's a loaded baked potato soup.
Loaded baked potato soup.
It's not healthy for you at all,
No.
but it's delicious.
But it is
That's
super
not what
delish.
matters.
We do love it.
Well, we have chicken noodle soup. Ashley also makes a homemade chicken and noodle soup.
Mm-hmm.
That's delicious.
Yes. Yes. I must say though, I must clarify that I do love soups, but they must be made correctly.
That's true.
They have to be made.
I'll give you that.
Also, I much prefer a homemade soup versus a canned soup.
Well, sure.
Oh, for sure.
Well, for
I-
sure.
A
I will
canned
agree
soup
with you.
is always way too salty.
Yeah, agreed. I mean, as a
Agreed.
kid though, like my mom would obviously heat up
Well, yeah.
some Campbell's chicken noodle,
chicken
soup. You
noodle,
really can't
some
go wrong.
tomato.
and a little peanut butter pocketbook on the side. Like I loved that when I was a kid. Yeah. So
Well,
or the ABC
Oh,
soup.
we get that wild rice soup. That's really good.
you go to Menards and it's like a packet. It's like a dry powder
okay,
or whatever.
okay, and then you add stuff.
Just
to
like
it?
what water?
water,
Basically.
and you boil it.
Oh my
and
God.
And it's pretty good?
Really,
It's like
good.
a-
Okay, so there's some good instant
Yeah, there's some
things
good ones,
on it
but
that we'll do in a pinch.
Yeah.
It's definitely a hit and miss when it comes to the pre-made soups versus like a homemade
for
soup.
sure. If you really know what you're doing, you make a good homemade soup. Like my grandma made amazing like a vegetable beef soup.
Oh.
Your grandma makes that too, actually, really well.
does
She
she?
hasn't made it in a long time, but
No.
it is super good. Now I'm told Ash makes one of your like probably favorite, the tomato bisque.
Well, everybody loves the tomato bisque. Anybody who's had it. Dad's tried
We've
it.
talked about it a lot.
Sam's,
You
I
really
think,
like
tried it.
Okay.
It's delicious.
No, I don't think Sam's tried
Oh.
it.
Well, she makes a homemade tomato bisque, and then we have these little bowls that we use when we'll do like little Korean barbecue, and we'll put the rice in them. So
Right.
it's just like a little small bowl.
But you put the bisque in there instead,
we put
not
the
with
bisque,
rice.
right?
Gotcha.
Right. We put the bisque, and then we make like a grilled cheese on the side.
Yep.
Now, what
Oh,
was
that's
the
a good pairing.
what was the cheeses you went with? Because we were at Schnucks and picking out cheese when the last time you were making this, and you grabbed two cheeses that I was like, I don't know about that, but I was
Munster cheese.
It's October. Monster.
Monster cheese. Monster cheese and
It's
I wanna
pepper
say
jack.
It was pepper jack.
Pepper jack. I knew one of them. I didn't know what the other one was.
Yeah, she couldn't.
But I was like, Munster and pepper jack. I didn't say anything at the time.
Yeah.
I had to trust the process. And damn it, it was delicious.
The pepper jack goes really,
delicious.
really well with tomato bisque.
I can see that.
Like tomato bisque, it has the acidy, like fruity taste and whatnot, and then you cut it with that spice of the pepper jack, but it's not too spicy that it's gonna like kill you. So
Just enough. Perfect.
just enough.
Well, she in the last year we had the garden, so she had all the home grown
Homegrown. There you go.
tomatoes and whatnot, and that's what she made the bisque out of. Because what all goes in the bisque?
Well, it's not just tomatoes. So tomatoes are a big part of it.
Sure.
But I also put red bell pepper in it,
Oh.
It's garlic.
garlic, onion, and some herbs. So I had fresh rosemary, thyme, and oregano.
What makes it a bisque versus a soup?
It has a cream. It has
cream
like
in it.
cream
Okay,
base
gotcha.
to it. So I put I cut roughly chop my vegetables, and then I put them in the oven and roast them for until they start getting little black bits on
Sure.
the edges and whatnot.
Gotcha.
And then I throw it all in a blender and blend it till it's super, super smooth.
Ooh.
And then you put that in a pan and you add some heavy cream to it and just get it really warm and mixed
Wow.
together. and it's really good.
It's delicious.
Well,
Add
I will
salt
tell
to
you,
taste.
I told Abby, if you've never been to Porter's restaurant in Collinsville, it is like my favorite place in the whole world. And they make a lobster bisque. And I would sacrifice everything. I would lay down my life for that soup.
The lady from Chip Crazy.
100%.
I would lay down my life.
It is. I love that soup more than I love my kids.
that tomato, that lobster,
lobster bisque.
I think you said once that you guys had gone or whatever. Like she goes, I was licking the plate.
If it would not have been unsavory, I would have picked up my bowl and licked it. But we were in a very nice restaurant, so I did not do that. So I got some bread and I wiped that plate, wiped that bowl clean, man. Oh my gosh, it is the best thing I've probably ever eaten in my life.
I've not been to Porter's.
Wow.
I've been to Porter's once.
It's a good place.
No. Yeah, once. It's really good.
It's very good.
Well, I've only heard good things.
Yes.
We'll
so
have
if you
to go
haven't
for our
been, sometimes you
anniversary
go.
this
Yeah,
year.
there you go. You'll have to get there for a special occasion.
We were supposed to do it this year, I believe, but then
Plans fell through.
yeah,
Something happened. Something always happens, though, right?
something always around your
Right.
anniversary.
So now I tell you, Ashley is a very good cook, and I will admit to not being a very good cook. I am a so-so cook.
So-so cook.
There's a handful of things I make really well, and they're typically in the crock pot, and so that's why I fall
Well,
is
that's like-
perfect because it's crock pot season.
Well, that's like the white chicken chili is a classic.
White chicken chili is
I've
a classic.
got,
The chicken and noodles,
man,
always
chicken
a
and noodles is
fan favorite.
Chicken noodles is kind of like it's not chicken noodle soup.
It's kind of like chicken and dumplings.
Yeah.
You could actually use dumplings or noodles.
They're-
the reams, yeah.
Yeah, you get the Reams noodles, which
Yeah,
are
you
these
can
like
use
real
dumplings
thick.
too either way.
Yeah,
But yeah, that
noodles.
one's always super yummy.
But you do Italian beef in the crock pot. Oh my
I got
god,
again. I
The
got that
Italian
recipe
beef
from a
favorite.
friend, and that is
Italian beef's really good.
it
it's
is
like
super
it's not
delish.
like the strips of like beef that you would. It's not like Chicago style.
right. It's
it's-
shredded.
it's like a
But
shred-
It's got
oh my
so
God.
many wonderful seasonings and things in there.
Yeah,
that
it's so
make
good.
it
It's good.
make it super.
That's
good.
really good.
You're right.
I forgot to mention earlier garlic soup.
Oh, I learned that one last year. That one was a game changer.
That one
for
I
me.
did get to taste, and it is
Yeah,
Delicious.
That is if I'm sick, I probably would want that. We always joked it was garlic soup is what we wanted French onion soup to taste like.
Right.
true.
I don't really like onions, so French onion soup wasn't a big win for me. But
I don't-
you're right. Garlic soup is better.
Yeah, I don't mind French onion soup. It's just it's super sweet because when you caramelize all the onions and
That's true,
whatnot,
that's true.
they give off a lot more sugar and everything, so it's a lot sweeter. And you don't expect that when you think of French onion soup, especially when you're putting all of the ingredients together, because it also calls for like white wine or something like that in it
Okay.
and whatnot. So it's like, oh, this is probably going to be dry and savory, and then you eat it and you're like, that's sweet. That's
Yeah,
I'm not.
it totally throws
It just throws you.
But
But then you eat the
don't-
garlic soup and you're like, oh, this is
That's
exactly
it.
what I thought this was supposed to taste like.
You got
So
those
that's,
little.
That's a winner.
You got those little bowls. What are those
Yeah,
little
ramekins.
bowls? Ramekins.
Oh.
They're like these tiny little bowls that you can put soup or anything, and then you can she'll like get a loaf of like French bread or whatever.
Okay.
And then like chop it into like little chunks, put some on there, cheese, and then you put the ramekin with the soup and everything in the oven, broil it, melt that cheese
gotcha.
on there. Oh my god,
Super duper delish.
Oh my God.
Gotcha.
delicious.
Well, I will say that when I was growing up, whenever we were sick, my dad would make chicken noodle soup. Okay?
was it good?
It did not have a soda on the side. That's for Liv. Anyway, she's the only one who would get that. It was not good. And in fact, my brothers and sister and I called it the dreaded chicken noodle soup. That is what we dubbed it. And whenever we would get sick, like we didn't want to tell him because we didn't want him to make it. And when he would be making it, we'd be like, oh no, not the dreaded chicken noodle soup. I can remember my mom, who, I learned to cook from. You typically kind of sometimes learn from your mom, right, to cook. And my mom is not a good cook either. And
This is why I'm not a good cook.
this is why you're not a good cook. Here's the thing: my mom's mom was a very good cook. Like everything she made, amazing, right? But she didn't want anyone in the kitchen.
Fair.
She didn't
So
want
no one got
anybody in
to
her way.
watch her.
So my mom never learned.
Yeah.
Okay, until she gets married, and then it's like, oh crap! And then we have 7 kids, and she's got to feed all of us. And yeah, I mean, it was fine. It was edible.
We got there.
We got there. But so yeah, that's why like none of us are very good cooks. All the women in my family, anyway. But yeah, I can remember my mom again, who's not the very very good cook. Looked at my dad and like, for God's sake, put a bouillon cube or something in there.
Because
Because it was like water and
Right.
chicken
Oh, this is like
and
boiled-
carrots
boiled chicken
and
water.
celery. It's what it was. It was like boiled the chicken and threw some carrots and celery in there and noodles and thought, there we go. No, it was no.
At
It was
least
like,
use chicken stock instead of water.
right?
Like,
Something. It was,
Just like spaghetti.
I can't even tell you. I have no memory of the noodles. It was that
Locked
bad.
it out.
But he liked it, you know. But he has. You think my palate is bland?
I know.
He has
I know.
I know.
the most bland palate. I got it from him. Yeah, it's pretty funny.
Well, Ashley's mom is also a very good cook.
Yes.
And so Ashley's a very good cook.
Right.
And
Lucky you.
I joke with I've said to J Dog before that like we'll be talking about like whatever, like dinner or lunch or something like that. And I said, oh, everybody's gonna get them an Ashley, and she's like, I wish I had an Ashley.
Your dad wishes too.
I think it was like, yeah, I was just eating like a leftovers, like the pesto chicken pasta that was super simple or whatever. And she's like, I gotta get me an Ashley.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I'm lucky. Thankfully, your dad will eat anything. And so even the first, we're first married and I burned the first meal that I make and he still ate it as like a sweetheart. But that's why he's happy for fall too, because he's like, yes, she's bringing out the crock pot.
I got you a little sign, I think, for your kitchen. I think
Yes.
it's in the little thing.
Crock and roll.
Crock and
sorry.
roll. Is that right?
It's crock and roll. Yeah,
Crock and roll. It is sitting on my kitchen counter. It's very funny because they
and
know
roll.
I can only cook if I use a crock pot.
Well, you tried.
Crock pot meals though come in handy. We
It
love a
works
crock pot
great.
meal on a
I love
Thursday.
I love good crock
Well,
pot.
that's
Yeah.
why it works out great because I'm at work and I come home and most of the dinner is like ready. Yeah. So
Yeah, on
Love
D&D Thursday, we do a lot of crock pot
right?
meals.
So now, listener, if you got any good crock pot recipes you want to share,
Oh, please
hit
do.
me up.
We'll share
Yeah,
some
we'll
of
share
these
some.
recipes.
We'll share some. Absolutely.
Oh, a
I
classic
got a couple good ones.
crock pot recipe stew.
Stew. Can't go wrong.
Stew.
Ashley's stew is way better than mine, I think. Mine is pretty basic, but I think yours is a little more flavorful. I like it.
Yeah, mine comes from a YouTuber that I just found
Legit.
and really liked it because stew, unfortunately, in my household is one of the meals that I did not like.
Really? Okay.
And my mom,
Some people
I
really don't
love
like
her.
it. Depends on how it's
well,
made.
no,
right?
my mom, it's just very blah.
Right.
And
right.
it always seemed like it needed something. And to me, every time she made beef stew, I would just be like, oh,
Oh no.
I don't want to eat this. I'm going to find something else. And
Right.
that's honestly, that's how I became a good cook, is because I was super picky growing up.
Oh, okay.
So when my mom finally was just like, if you're not going to eat what I make, then you fend for yourself. So I fended for myself
Yeah,
and would like
agreed.
make my own food
Okay.
and whatnot. And
So you make it like you like it.
yeah. And
Gotcha.
so, but that's stew was like one of the things that Abby, for the longest time, I would never eat it.
Yeah, I didn't eat stew for like a few years because
And-
I
yeah,
only would
That's
eat
just
it
not
if-
something Ash made. Okay.
Right,
Gotcha.
right.
Well, Abby just one day was like, I really want beef stew.
I really want beef.
Right.
It'd been like 2 or
she
3
grew
years.
up with my beef stew
Yeah.
that we do like. It's good.
It's totally fine.
I've had it. It's good.
Yeah, it's not anything like gonna win any awards.
It's your
but
classic
it's your
beef stew.
classic beef stew. Yeah.
We can get some cornbread on the side.
Right, the cornbread on the side.
Delicious.
Winner. Yeah.
Delicious.
No, my friend Jeff, Jana Jeff, he made like a
The
Irish
Honorable
stew.
Jeff?
Yes. He makes an Irish stew that I was like blown
Put some
away
Guinness
by.
in it.
Yes, it just absolutely blew me away. I've never had a stew like that. I loved it. We just loved it. It was amazing.
I feel like Irish are just very good at stews.
They have a lot of potatoes.
Yeah.
What were you?
I said I have to hunt Jeff down and get his
Oh, yeah.
recipe, right?
Yeah.
Because I really want to make it. It's so
100%.
great. You guys would love it.
It's real. I mean, Ash. Well, that's just the thing. Is like, I mean, yours is your classic. It's meat, carrots, potatoes, and that's basically it.
Right.
And then some bouillon,
Your bouillon cubes.
some bouillon cubes, and then Ash had looked up.
You flour your meat, you know.
Yeah,
Salt,
Ash,
pepper.
Well, exactly. Salt, pepper. It's super, and it tastes good.
Yeah. it tastes
You
good.
know, I don't have any problem with it. And Ash had looked it up that because I was like, I really want stew, with no expectation that I was.
She's not a lover of it, so you found what you thought sounded good.
Right. Well,
Yeah.
I had zero expectations. I just was like, well, it is what it is. Like, I'm just not gonna get stew. And then she's surprised, and she's like out here making something, and all this stuff. And she had like looked up a recipe, but you're putting like Worcestershire sauce in there and a whole bunch
This
of shit.
stew is what opened my mind up to the better than bouillon.
Better than bouillon.
Right.
That is the key ingredient to my beef stew is using better than bouillon, and it is better than bouillon.
You know what? I've heard of this, and of course, not being a good cook, I'm afraid to use it because it's like I don't know how much to use. I wouldn't even know what to. So I am, you're still using the little cube, that you dissolve and throw in.
Yep.
So, but I've heard, and I've had your obviously food, so it definitely is more flavorful.
Yeah,
I think you're right.
no, it's
I gotta write this down.
it's better than bouillon.
Better than bouillon, and then ask Ash how to use.
Ask Ash how to use. Well, I just because the better than bouillon's like a jar of like a paste almost that you just like put like a scoop in or something.
It's not a cube wrapped up in a little
Correct.
piece of paper.
Correct.
Which this will tell you how bad a cook I am. My mother. I mean, okay, no, I was a child.
Well, okay,
Let's
yeah, this
preface
wasn't yesterday.
I was probably like. I was old enough to be in the kitchen and around a hot stove and knew better not to like stick
Right.
my hand on the, put my hand in the fire or whatever. She asked me to put the bouillon cubes in the water. And they were sitting there on the counter. So I picked them up and I put them in the water.
Yeah.
And she comes back and she's like, why did you take the wrapper off? And I'm like, you didn't say unwrap them and put them in the water. I didn't know what the hell a bouillon cube was. I was like, you said put them in the water. So here she's trying to fish them out, and they're hot, and they're dissolving in the paper, trying to get the paper off.
See, that
So,
was my job
holy
when my
crap.
mom made chicken noodle soup.
Oh, okay.
Is to peel the bouillon cubes.
Okay, gotcha.
Because I would always wanted to help, and she was like, "Well, I don't really want like you doing all this stuff." And
But you
kinda-
could, you could do that.
Yeah,
that
but
was your
she's
job.
like, "I hate doing this, so you do that."
Can you even imagine how much shit I got from my family
imagine.
for not unwrapping the bouillon cube? Yeah, I will never be able to live that one down, and I just shared it for y'all to know. So
For everyone to know.
Here we go.
Well,
got
and
a
that's
snack.
okay.
Well, so that was my first cooking snafu. Anybody
Your
else got
first.
any good
Oh, I
cooking
got a lot.
snafus?
I got a lot.
I don't have a lot of snafus, but it's because I don't really cook a lot, really.
Okay.
I do have one that was like I said, I don't know about like cooking and things like that. And Grandma at Thanksgiving makes a mean turkey.
Oh man, you're not.
I am not a turkey
It's a
lover.
good turkey.
I'm not a turkey lover. That is amazing turkey.
That
And
is
she's like,
some
it's just salt and
seriously-
pepper. I'm like,
seriously good
Grandma, I don't know what you're doing, but you're doing something.
Doing something right.
You're doing something. Okay.
I have to watch her make it because I refuse to think it's just salt and pepper.
I can't
I
wrap my
don't know what
mind
she
around
does,
it.
but we've all agreed that someone must go over there this year.
Yeah.
She usually cooks it the day before. Go
Yeah.
over there on Wednesday.
Yeah.
Or whatever day we decide to celebrate. Probably might not celebrate till Saturday, but whatever. Go over there and watch what she does.
I know.
Somebody
Sam,
write this shit down.
Sam and Ashley have both said
Yeah.
we need to go over there.
Write
Do
it down. Write the process down.
Somebody just record it.
So yeah, that's true.
Because
Help me, I can't say the word.
True. You got it.
So yeah, so that it's not lost. Forever. We got to have this.
Because she does the turkey and then she uses like the gravy or whatever from that, and she uses that in place of water for the stuffing, and it's a game changer. It's just box stuffing. I'd eat the entire box. I swear to God.
Well, technically, that's for the Stouffer's box that she gets. That's how you're supposed to make it.
Who knew? Who
Yeah.
knew?
But I saw a thing too. Like if you don't, because I make the stuffing then like for my family, and if you don't have like the drippings from the turkey,
Right.
you can make it with chicken broth instead
okay.
of water, and that makes it very flavorful.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or
done that before,
if
too.
you save like the gizzards and the neck and all that kind of stuff
That's
from the
true.
turkey,
Yes.
you can make your own stock from
Ashley's made stock
all
before.
of that.
Really?
And yeah, you put all of that in
Do
a
you
pot.
grind that all up and put it in your stuffing?
No, you
Because
just,
I've had that before, and that was not a fun stuffing.
No, you just put all of that in a pot with some water.
Sorry, not fun. It just triggered a flashback.
the phrasing. It was not a fun stuff.
No, you put all of that in water, and then
right.
you add, some peppercorns, some bay leaves, some rosemary, all that stuff, and then carrots, tomatoes, onions, rough chop throw it in the
And you
water,
just cook
and
it?
you just cook it and simmer it down, and then after about 4 to 5 hours of cooking and simmering and whatnot, you can then, I mean, the longer the better, so you can probably
Sure.
do like 8 hours, but you just strain all of that broth into like a container,
And then you have
all
your own
that
stock?
other stuff, you just throw it away.
Wow.
No, I will say that I've seen. I'm sure a listener has also seen. At least one of the listeners has seen this video of somebody who's doing that. They make their own stock and they go over to the sink and they strain it.
Okay.
So they pour the stock through the strainer straight down the drain. Because, and all they're left with is bones. And they're like,
And they forgot to put some kind of container.
they're like wasted 8 hours.
hours of their life.
I would be so sad.
That would be
First off,
just-
I hope I would like notice before I drained it all,
Yeah.
so that at least
Like,
I could
yeah.
save some.
some, not
But
the
yeah.
whole bit.
You never see this person's face, but you can tell in their hands. You
just-
can tell.
They just freeze.
Yeah.
They're like white knuckling the pants.
Because it's like a whole, I mean, you can imagine a whole
yeah, stock
kitchen
pot.
pot. Yeah.
Yeah.
And they just poured.
Can you even imagine?
I would be so
how
upset.
Devastated. You would just stand
That-
there so devastated.
Here's the thing.
And there's nothing you can do about it.
No.
That's something I would do. I would 100% just be like, yeah, I'm going to strain it. Because 9 times out of 10, when you're straining something,
What do? You're
you
just
wanna
running it
keep-
down the sink.
right.
You want to keep the solids.
Yeah.
You don't want
Wanna
to keep the
Exactly.
liquids.
And that's so opposite of what you typically do. Now we kind of interrupted you. You started talking about grandma's turkey, and I said, what is a
no,
cookie
I think we can
snafu?
move on.
No, let's hear it.
No.
Maybe.
Well, so grandma makes mean turkey.
True.
Okay. And when we go over there, she's got like a little, what do you call that? A
little warmer.
A warmer
Mhm.
pan.
And the turkey's already done and sliced.
turkey's done.
and, yeah,
Because
ready
like we
to go.
said, she does it the day before.
Does the day before.
And she's got the dark meat and the light meat.
Separates it all out.
Separates it all out.
Good presentation.
Good on Dolores.
Yeah. It's
and-
simmering in some chicken broth or
I
something.
know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think it's turkey drippings.
It's-
Is what
well,
she
oh,
said.
I'm sure she adds that to it.
Yeah.
Yes.
She what we have to find
We
out.
must find out the mystery. Yes.
But so it's always shredded. It's always shredded when we
It's
go over
cut
there.
or shredded. A little bit of
Yeah.
it shredded. Yeah. She takes
It's-
out the bone. Yeah.
Right. And so Ashley we had I didn't even know if we were married yet.
No, we were
We
living
couldn't
in the
have been.
apartment in Carbondale.
Yeah. So we are talking about like Thanksgiving and all this because she's a good cook. Her sister Missy is also a good cook,
Yeah.
and we're talking about Missy making the turkey and all that kind of stuff for the O'Brien Thanksgiving and all this
Such
stuff.
a good turkey that year.
and I'm like, oh well, like, yeah, my grandma makes good turkey or whatever, and she asks, well, what does she do? Now, admittedly, I didn't know.
She doesn't have. He has no
I
idea.
don't.
what
I have
that
no
is.
idea.
Yes.
But I made a huge mistake because the first thing I said was, well, she shreds it.
And I went, before she cooks it?
Hang on.
So you thought she shredded the chicken and well, the turkey even. I'm sorry. you thought she shredded the turkey
And then somehow
and then
cooked
cooked it.
And I was just like, that is so much work. I highly doubt that
It's
is
so much
what's going
harder
on.
to
then-
cut it up when it's uncooked.
Yeah,
But then I doubled
after.
down. I said, no, that's what she does. It's fucking shredded when we go over there.
And then so when we went to Thanksgiving that year, I made sure
Oh, she's
to
asking.
ask
No,
Dolores.
well before we got there, I knew. I knew that was wrong.
Yeah,
but she,
I
of course,
was
she's
like,
got time.
I have to ask Dolores. And I said, Dolores, do you shred your turkey before you cook it or after? First off, the look Dolores gave me.
She's like, wait, Ashley's not very bright, is she?
That's exactly what it was. She was like, what kind of dumbass question is that? And so then she tells me, I cut it and shred it afterwards. And I turned to Abby and I said, I told you so.
I know.
It's like, oh my god. Okay, that's fine. That's not a cooking snafu that you had.
No,
but
I
it
don't
was
really
a cooking
have-
misunderstanding.
I don't know that I have.
Because she doesn't cook.
No.
No, I have the snack.
I have so
Yeah.
many. I have so many.
I almost our first Thanksgiving in the current house that we're in.
we were all here. You were hosting everybody.
I was hosting
O'Brien's,
everyone,
Van Horn's,
and,
Wilhelm's, unlike the Wilhelm's,
That's
Van Horn's.
yeah,
Yeah.
but that's a big crowd.
It's still a big crowd.
That's a
big crowd. I set my oven on fire.
Yeah.
Luckily, my mom was there to tell me, hey, grab the salt and just throw salt on it.
Right.
Which came in handy later because this
Yeah.
year I almost set my kitchen on fire
again.
with a pan.
Oh, I remember this. Yeah.
And I was gonna make something for lunch because I'm work from home. So I was like, I'll just throw something together real quick. put some oil in a pan, I was like, okay, that's going to heat up. I'm going to go check my email. Well, I got carried away with my email.
I was on the phone with you when this happened.
Yeah,
I can
yeah.
hear you.
But all of a sudden we just hear whoosh, and I didn't really know what that sound was exactly.
Immediately, I knew what that was.
But I'm sitting, and you know where my desk is. I can see that wall, and all of a sudden the wall is like glowing. And I'm like, oh no!
Yeah, and so I run into the kitchen, shit, and then all I'm hearing is this, where's the salt? Where's the salt? Where's the salt?
I can hear you
And
on the phone.
Yeah.
Where's the salt?
Well, she dumps like
The whole container
the
of salt.
whole container of salt in, but she misses like one small section, and you can tell that like the adrenaline was pumping, and now it's stopped. And she's like frozen. She doesn't know what to do because she's out of salt.
She's out of salt.
And I was like, give it. And I just like
Give it a little shake. Give it a little shake.
And it covers it and
Covers
it's
it.
out and whatnot. Now of course it starts smoking because
Sure.
so outside
Take it
we
outside.
go
Yeah.
and whatnot. And so
That was my favorite pan, too.
Oh man. Well, at least now our listeners know salt on a grease fire.
Yes,
Salt.
Salt on a
never
grease
throw,
fire.
never
Never
throw
water,
water
which
on a grease
I'm sure
fire.
our listeners
You
heard
want
that
to
before.
smother it. You do not want to throw water on it.
But
Throw
salt
a
works.
wet towel, like a wet
towel, yeah.
on it, wet washcloth.
but
throw
not
salt
on it directly, like cover it.
Yeah, cover
smother
it.
Smother.
Yes.
Smother
Smother.
smother it like you're gonna strangle
gosh.
someone in their sleep with a pillow.
Oh my god.
You know, when I was in college, my first year away, I'm sharing an apartment with my brother Dan, right?
Okay.
And I'm gonna cook something. Probably the first time I've ever had to cook something because
Okay.
I'm now not living at home, right?
Right.
So we have this old electric style stove that has the coils. Remember the
Yeah.
coils that we heat
Our
up?
our one in
Okay.
our
I burned
apartment.
my hand when
Our
I was
apartment in
I
five.
had
Farmingdale.
that too. Okay.
Our apartment in
And those
Farmingdale
get very, very hot. And so when you would cook, they would set off like the smoke detector.
Oh.
Okay.
Ours did
So
not.
you couldn't turn it on high, or the thing would start beeping like
Oh,
crazy,
shit.
right? So I'm making dinner one night, and
Wonder if
my
someone
brother,
got some.
my brother Dan comes in and he turns it up like high, and I'm like, no, you're gonna set up the fire extinguisher. And he's standing there looking at me like, the fire extinguisher's just gonna start spraying everywhere. And I was like, you know what the fuck I meant? You know what the fuck I meant? So that was pretty funny. That was
funny.
not my fault. That was his. But yeah, that was
That's fair.
me trying to cook in college, right? Can you imagine? Yeah.
I do have one more from you, Anna. That's cooking snafu.
Oh.
You've really shifted to crock pots recipes now.
Yes. Yes.
But it used to be a casserole.
I have a handful of casserole recipes. Not
You
too
had
many.
No, yeah. Well, back in the day,
Yep.
in the late '90s, early 2000s, it was casserole was king.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And we would do tuna noodle casserole.
Tuna noodle
It
casserole.
is not good.
Now I know you don't like it, and neither does Liv, because there's egg noodles in it, and you guys don't like egg noodles for some reason.
Mother, tuna noodle casserole is egg noodles,
I know.
a can of cream of mushroom soup, and tuna. What?
Don't forget the
This-
milk. Don't forget the little bit of milk.
That sounds terrible.
It's delicious.
No,
Zane-
it's not.
Wayne doesn't like it really either, and this is the man who'll eat anything, so he's not a big fan. He takes it and mixes it with sour cream or something to give it a little more flavor or
Yeah,
something.
well, and
Sam
then-
and
and
I,
we're like-
Sam and I love it.
Because Sam and you got bland
We do.
palates.
We do.
And you're like, you know, we'll really spice this up. A little saltine. A saltine.
You got to eat it with a saltine. It's delicious.
Oh my
Ashley's
god.
making the most horrified face. Why would you ever make this and serve it to your family?
Terrible.
Sam and I
I
love it.
like tuna.
Yes.
We make a good tuna salad.
Oh, you're good.
Like sandwich kind of
Good
thing. No.
tuna.
Hear me out. It's delicious.
It's so delicious.
it's tuna,
Abby found
ranch,
it in one of my cookbooks.
Parmesan, mayo.
Yep.
That's it.
That's it.
And then
See,
you put it
that
on.
has two ingredients. I just not a huge fan.
Which
of.
ones?
Tuna man.
Tuna.
Yeah.
It's fair.
Well, she would like the other recipe that I made.
The chicken salad.
So one time I was making tuna noodle casserole.
Oh.
And I made it, baked it in the oven, bring it to the table. We got the saltines, we're ready.
we got the
And
saltines.
we dish it out. And you weren't there, I don't think.
No, well, I was there.
You were there?
Oh.
Okay, so we're eating, and I'm like, this doesn't taste right.
No.
Something's wrong. And you never like it anyway, so
It
you're
tasted
like,
worse than
it already
usual,
it already tastes terrible anyway. And Wayne's like, well, did you put the cream of
Milk?
mushroom soup in
Yeah.
there? And I was like, no. Did you add milk?
Well, yes.
I mean, yes. I
Yes.
said yes. He was like, did you add milk? I'm like, yes. And then she goes, what, did you put the tuna in it? And I went, nope.
We looked over on the counter.
There's the can.
There's the tuna.
I forgot to put the tuna in it.
So we were like, tuna less noodle casserole.
Tuna less noodle casserole. That's the only way Ashley
Terrible.
Minus
It was
tuna.
I don't
was
know.
not
Even
good.
with the cream, I'm very cream of mushroom is first off. Whoever eats cream of mushroom soup
Just
as a
eats
soup,
it as a soup. Can you imagine?
I'm sorry.
Even
that's
though,
a no.
Because like
That's a no.
That's a really a big one that you cook with. Same thing with like cream of chicken.
Yeah,
That
anything
soup
that's
sounds
cream of
horrendous
anything
as
that's
a
cream
soup.
of anything.
Yeah.
I feel like is more of
It's just a cooking.
a
The
cooking
is-
additive, not
Yes.
a you're eating this as a meal.
Right.
And for those of you who do eat it as a meal, what is wrong with you?
Unsubscribe, honestly.
no. This is safe space. You can
This
eat
is
your
safe space.
soup how you like it.
But
You
that
will be
reminds
judged.
me of a snafu that I had
Okay.
one of the few times that I really mess up cooking.
Okay.
I like to experiment with things in the kitchen.
I think I know what this is.
And I like to figure out new recipes, all that kind of stuff by just throwing stuff in a pot. I usually am pretty good and intuitive at what I have in the being able to come up with a meal with what I have in the fridge.
This was a difficult issue for me and Ashley to get by because she's really she cooks by eye. You know what I mean? She'll just kind of eyeball it when she's like,
Yeah.
oh, I'm putting this in.
Yeah.
And I'm really more of a measuring cup kind of gal. You know,
So when I
when the
ask her-
box mac and
Yes.
cheese says a quarter cup of milk, it's a quarter cup of milk. She's like, we'll just throw some in. What do you mean? When you were at the first apartment in Carbondale, we didn't have measuring cups. All we had was measuring spoons.
Oh,
So
okay.
I had to Google what the conversion
So
was.
you're doing it by
tablespoon by tablespoon.
Well, because
hilarious.
if you do that kind of stuff for so long, you just kind of know what it is like.
No,
You know,
have
I can
cooked-
kind of
It's
estimate
stuff
what a
that-
cup is.
Especially stuff that you make a lot. I do
Yeah.
the same thing, and I don't even some recipe cards I don't have measurements on. And Wayne's like, "How much do I put in here?" And I'm like, "I don't know. I just know when I make
Yeah.
it. I just know what to put in there."
Yeah.
And he's very angry with me for that.
Well,
yes.
so one of the days, it was when we were in our apartment.
Yes.
I said, you know what? I'm gonna make mac and cheese,
Yeah.
but I'm not gonna make box mac and cheese.
No, you did.
I know. I'm not gonna make box mac and cheese. I'm gonna make fancy mac and cheese. Well, then I realized I didn't have everything to make fancy mac and cheese, with heavy cream and all that kind of stuff. So I started Googling, what can I make with box mac and cheese, just to zhuzh it up a little
I
bit.
thought he was gonna say something
Okay.
to zhuzh it up.
Okay.
And so I was like, okay, cool. I read 6 or 7 recipes. They all had kind of the same thing. So I was like, okay, no problem. I'm just going to throw some extra cheese in there. And garlic powder and some different seasonings. Oh boy.
Not good.
It was, we threw that whole pot away.
Oh,
Listener,
no.
it was not good.
It was definitely one of that. And then I made the
Those are-
chickpea tikka masala that we also threw
Yeah, it was.
throughout.
that
Those
was
are the
not
only
it.
2 times I've actually
Well, that masala was not your fault. We just didn't like it.
yeah, we just didn't like
That wasn't on you. That wasn't your.
it. But the
That was a rough night for the mac and cheese because then we
Mm-hmm.
ordered Chinese from a place, and I won't say the place because I won't drag them, and I can't remember it anyway.
Yeah.
But we ordered Chinese from delivery or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
and we're eating it, and Ashley had a whole ass wire in her food.
yeah, legitimate this long wire
Oh, wire?
that looked like it had been fried
It
in
came
with
off
the,
maybe a cleaning brush or something, and
I
then it
don't know.
fell in the fryer.
It was this long.
yeah. It was
I
and it
know.
was a thick wire. It was not a paper clip whatever. It was thick. And like I said, it had
my
it
God.
looked like it had been fried with stuff because there was stuff fried to it and everything. And
So now, when you say, "Mom, it's this long," what would you say for our listeners? This long would be
6 inches.
Oh my word! Yeah,
4 inches.
6 inches if you had it all crinkled up because it was wrapped around and things like that. It wasn't just a long piece of wire; it had been.
So
Oh,
you think that crinkled at 6 inches?
and if you'd straighten it down,
yeah,
it
if
would
I
be longer.
no, if I straightened
Oh,
it out,
oh,
it's
understood.
6 inches.
Okay.
I
total.
see.
Okay, understood.
But it was all crinkled up and whatnot, so it wasn't a 6-inch wire sticking out of my thing.
Gotcha.
It was either way very unfortunate. And then we called them and they tried to tell us that we planted it, and I'm like,
Oh, for Pete's
there's food caked onto it,
Right.
like.
So you don't understand the mac and cheese snafu I had earlier. Just-
Yeah, that was a fun night.
But yeah, so that was rough. But I mean, otherwise though, really, you don't have too many snafus, and I'll try just about anything at least once. you know.
You're very good about if I'm just like, I saw this recipe online, I'm making it, and you're like, okay, cool, and you'll just accept that.
Well, you know what I like.
Yeah.
You know that I don't like peppers. I've tried to like peppers, but unless it's like the bisque or whatever that they're roasted and they're blended up with other stuff, you know, that like I think that peppers in things, especially if there's like whole peppers, like that's all everything in that food tastes like is just tastes like peppers. And so I don't care for that. But so you know what I like and you'll find recipes, you know. And that's how we get a lot of our recipes. You'll find stuff on Instagram or whatever and you'll send it to me. And I'm just like, actually just assume that I'll try just
She's
about
all
anything.
in.
I'll
Yeah.
try it,
Yeah.
you know.
She will try anything once, that's
Yeah.
for sure.
I'll try
Yeah.
just about anything
Yeah.
once. But
You're more like your dad like that. He'll even he'll try it, and even if it's terrible, he'll still eat
see,
it.
I won't do that.
Because one time we were over at my brother's house, and his wife had made a banana cream pie.
Uh-oh.
And we know that banana cream pie is his absolute favorite pie in the
It's
whole
true.
wide world. So she gets him a piece of pie, and he's eating it, and he is just making these faces like, you know, like, not sure, like, if this is, but he keeps eating it, and he keeps eating it, and you could tell then eventually it's like, he is 100% not enjoying this pie.
Yeah.
And finally, my sister-in-law notices, and she's like, "What? Why are you eating? What's wrong?" You know,
Yeah.
he's like, "It just doesn't taste right." And so I guess she tried it. She's like, "Oh my God, it's rancid. They had left it out."
Oh my god.
And he is eating rancid pie and not telling them because he felt bad.
I've always told
and he kept
Abby.
eating it.
I always told Abby, you better tell me if you don't like something
Yeah.
because I will make it again if I like it.
Right.
And I need to know if you don't like it because I don't want to make something.
Well, sure.
That,
You'll keep eating, making it, thinking she likes it. Yeah.
Well, we had this.
Oh my
we actually
God.
had this issue, and it wasn't that I didn't like it. But Ashley really likes green beans, and I don't really care for green beans. Like I'll eat them,
Right.
You know, but it is not my favorite veggie.
Sure.
And we're kind of limited to what veggies we can eat because I don't like peppers, and Ashley's allergic to the cabbage family. So that is cabbage, broccoli, cauliflower, Brussels sprouts,
Yeah.
all of it. Nix. We can't eat any of that.
It's so horrible.
Yeah, and which is sad because I like broccoli
No.
and you like
Brussels sprouts.
Yeah.
But it's also just sucks because if you're trying to lose weight, those are the veggies that everyone gives you and every recipe calls for. And I'm like, cool, I can't eat that, guys.
right.
Right.
So-
that's out.
Right. So we'll do carrots and asparagus and
Yeah, you like asparagus.
green beans. And so Ash, for the first year I think we were living in the house, you made green beans like a lot. I mean, at a minimum once a week was like the side dish. And at first it was fine.
Well, sure.
But I finally one day I was like I said, a year into this, and I don't really care for green beans, and I've been eating them at
Trying
least
to be nice.
a minimum once a
And
once
she's
a
making
week.
dinner, so who's going to complain?
Exactly.
Right? I
Well,
can't
that's what I'm
complain
saying.
if someone's
I'm not
making
going
me
to say.
dinner.
And so finally, I was like, Ashley, I love you, and it's not the green beans are bad. I just cannot eat green beans at every meal. So we've switched to asparagus, and that's totally fine. I like asparagus.
There you go.
And we still mix in green beans.
Yeah, like
I
yesterday we had green beans.
We did.
Like,
We had we'll get the
You're
little
fine
salmon
as long as you're
fillets,
all the time.
you
Ooh, I
know,
love
and then
that.
we'll
Yeah,
I don't know what you
Cajun
do.
seasoning on it,
Cajun
and then I
seasoning.
put
Air fryer
garlic and herb seasoning on the whatever veggie I have, and then a little butter sauce on top of it.
and rice.
And rice.
Some rice,
Yeah.
yeah. But not the rice on top of it. You just serve it with rice.
We put the rice and then we put the stuff on top of it.
Oh,
Yeah, delicious.
I usually like mix everything up into the bowl that way I can just
me too.
Yeah.
Delicious.
Love that. Yummy.
But yeah, we had green beans with that. But so it's like it's not that I hate green beans. You know, I don't like them nearly enough to eat them as
all the
frequently
time.
as Ashley.
Right.
Right.
green beans are my favorite vegetable. I will eat green beans all day every day,
I actually love green
especially
beans too. But you know what I don't like? My mother-in-law would serve them with some kind of vinegar, like oil and vinegar on them, and I don't like that. I don't like that on there.
I'm much more. They do really good with a little bit of oil, some garlic, onion powder, and salt and pepper.
Right.
I'm really good with that.
Well, again, she's making dinner, so I can't complain.
No.
And so you just eat it, and
Yeah.
it's fine. It's not like we eat dinner over there all the time. But
Sure.
But yeah, she's such a great cook, so it's kind of intimidating for me, who is not. And one time, I think it was Liv. I would make come Christmas or whatever, you make your chocolate chip cookies, right? Well, Liv was over at Grandma's, and they were going to make some chocolate chip cookies. And Grandma mixes it all up, makes them all from scratch, makes it all up. And Liv looks at her and says, wow, this is not how my mom makes chocolate chip cookies.
Because you probably had like the roll.
Right, come from the top of the roll.
Yeah.
Like, why am I wasting time mixing that up?
Right.
Thing is, it's ready made. Pop that shit out of there, scoop it up, put it
And they're delicious.
and they're delicious.
Thing is, though, baking and cooking are two very different
For
Yes.
things.
sure. And I actually am a better baker than a cook personally.
It's usually how
but
I-
that's so time consuming to make something. Like, I'm just gonna buy
Yeah,
some.
baking
And
you have to
I'm
be
done.
You have to be so precise with
Right.
baking, and it's so time consuming.
Yes.
And that I can't follow that. I suck at baking.
I like to bake more than to cook, but that I'm just like I don't have to. I work full time. I don't have time. I'm gonna go buy some stuff.
Yeah.
And so Grandma tells me later that what happened, and she laughed. She laughed really
Yeah.
hard. She thought it was hilarious. I was like, okay, good. Thank you for not judging because I'm a busy working mom. So yes,
And if
mine
I
come
got
from
the-
a tub or a roll.
If I got them sugar cookies with a little Christmas tree in them, don't say nothing.
I have some
Those
sugar
are
cookies.
delicious.
I just made some sugar cookies with little pumpkins in them because Liv always picks them
Those are
out.
fucking
She loves
delicious.
those.
I
She
love
loves
those.
Yeah.
I love those cookies.
Yes, pop those in the oven. They're done in like 10 minutes.
Oh my god.
Sold.
And they're delicious.
Yeah.
Those warm.
Oh my gosh. So
But-
yeah. Well, I have to tell you
Okay.
that I kind of have a skinny scoop poop if you want me to tell
Yeah,
you.
yeah. Give me a
Because, and I saw this and I had to tell the story because your grandma makes like the best meatloaf in the whole wide world.
it's true.
Like meatloaf is kind of tough because if it's not made well, it's not good, right? And she makes it really, really well, so we really like it. This person, oh my god, I was looking for funny stories, like because we're talking about cooking and whatnot. And this person said that they wanted to make some meatloaf, but this person didn't have any breadcrumbs, and so they're looking around their house for something they could use instead.
Okay.
They had a tub of Quaker oats.
Oh.
So they threw a bunch of oats in there. Well, it wasn't binding. It wasn't sticking together. Threw more in there. Threw more. Half the container of oats. You would throw your breadcrumbs or whatever because it kind of absorbs the moisture and it can it'll stick together. Oats don't do that, apparently.
No, they expand.
So now they've got half the container oats. It's sort of kind of together a little bit. They go ahead and go for it and throw it in the oven, right? This person did not end up having meatloaf. They had meat flavored oatmeal.
Oh.
Can you even imagine
No.
how gross?
Oh my gosh,
That
that's
sounds
so
terrible.
gross.
This person says it was the most disgusting thing they've ever put in their mouth, and it went right into the trash. Never use oats in your meatloaf.
I think I would have tried box stuffing. If I
I
didn't
would
have
have.
breadcrumbs.
I guess they didn't have any.
If they
But yeah.
had like
This person said they.
crackers, you just crush up crackers.
Maybe.
I guess that was they said it was the
Saltines?
only thing they had. Saltines.
Okay.
This person said they saw a recipe that someone used Cheez-Its.
Yeah.
Yeah, crackers.
Right. So maybe that might have worked better if you would have had some.
People use Cheez-Its for
Cheez-Its.
like Parmesan crust and that kind of stuff on like
Oh.
yeah, it's a whole thing, and also like people bread their like meats
I've
and
seen
like
that,
Cheetos
yeah,
and
yeah.
things like that too.
You
I
can
have
get
seen that.
a Crunchwrap Supreme with a big old Cheez-It right in the middle.
A Cheez
I
It or a
shit you not.
Dorito?
Nope. A Cheez-It.
Yeah.
A big square Cheez-It in the middle now. I've never tried it. Don't know if
know
I'll
how I
like it.
feel about it.
I don't either. I don't know what to
You
think
know
about
I
it
love
either.
Cheez Its, and you know that I love the Crunchwrap
Crunchwrap
Supreme.
Supreme. Would they be good
I
together?
think it's an extra toasty Cheez-It too.
Oh,
You know I like the extra toast.
do you really?
I like, because I enjoy things that are just a little bit burnt.
She does. She used to burn her popcorn.
I know she still does.
Does she
a
really?
little bit
The whole
sometimes.
freaking house will smell and she's burned her popcorn.
I'm
She
not
doesn't burn it that bad
Thanks,
anymore.
Sam. Thanks for burning the popcorn all over the house.
That's good.
Just gotta call her out for that.
Well, when we're toasting marshmallows, the way you cook it,
That's true.
you set it
You
on
do
fire.
have to
It's
set
true.
it on fire.
Set it on
do.
fire, and then
That's
you
delicious.
Let the outside get black, and then blow it out, and you eat it.
Yep, I
So
agree
you,
with that.
You do not eat. That's not how you eat. She's like, that's true. That's true. You
I
don't
like
fucking.
it.
That's not how you eat your damn marshmallow. You're like, no, you gotta slow roast it so it's a little brown on the
I
inside.
used to eat it burnt.
Okay.
But then I discovered that if you do slowly, just be patient
I don't have that.
and
in me.
turn it and turn it and turn it. Oh man, that's super good.
I
No,
don't
because
have it in
then it
me.
gets too gooey, and then it
No.
leaks everywhere on your hands.
You gotta
and
have just the right time, and you have to turn it.
I don't
And
have
then you put it in between chocolate and graham cracker.
I don't have that kind of
And it's
patience in
perfect.
me.
It's perfect.
If you light it on fire in like 20 seconds, you got a perfectly done marshmallow every
Oh my
time.
God.
J Dog and I have talked about this. We are both a lover of burnt marshmallows.
Yeah, I do love a burnt marshmallow.
And extra toasty Cheez-Its. Because you'll eat, it used to be, you'd eat the Cheez-Its and you'd get one that's a little bit burnt. And you're like, oh, yes. Yes.
Yes.
Well,
okay.
Burnt Cheez-Its.
I remember that about you. I forgot that you used to burn your popcorn. As soon as you said it, I remember that.
And now,
so
you
that
can
makes
just-
sense.
You can just buy a box of the burnt ones.
Wow. So I don't
Delicious.
know. I haven't tried the Crunchwrap Supreme with the cheese inside because I'm not sure. I'm not sure if I'm gonna like
I
it.
think it's too much.
Is it a good combination, or are you gonna end up with taco flavored Cheez-It, like your meat flavored oatmeal? Like,
Well,
will
but
you
is that
like
bad?
it?
Would that be bad?
Maybe not.
Right? I mean, it's cheese.
It's
I used to
probably
put
good. It's
Cheez-Its
probably
in my,
good.
like, chili.
Someday we're gonna have to try it.
Yeah.
You put Cheez-Its in your chili?
Sometimes.
Really?
Well, no,
I
because
like
it's
the
cheese.
Fritos. I like the Fritos.
Well, I prefer that, but I usually have Cheez-Its on hand. I don't typically have Fritos on
That's
hand.
another good thing about fall. Chili.
Chili.
Actually,
Oh,
chili.
And
God.
we've talked about the white chicken chili before.
Yeah,
because
we
it's
have.
award
The
winning.
white chicken chili is like none other.
Will we
It is.
will we post the
My
the
favorite
recipe?
thing.
No, that recipe is sacred, and no one gets.
Fucking good morning, St. Louis. Or
It was
whatever.
from
Wake
from
up, St.
Today
Louis.
in St. Louis or something.
Yeah.
No, that's Fox too.
Oh yeah, that's the gloves. Wake up, St. Louis. It's like that picture. Wake up, St. Louis.
Never have to post that picture. When Ashley used to work for Fox, she got a pair of gloves and set it on the
the palm.
glass.
Palm.
So much stuff from there.
Yeah,
Right.
I
Oh
love
my
those gloves.
gosh.
They're R.I.P. those gloves.
I'm trying to think.
Well, Ashley, do you have well, we could maybe post a couple recipes.
Sure.
I think we could share some.
I think we
things.
could.
Italian beef.
Ooh,
could
that's it.
share
And
Italian beef.
the thing is, I can't even claim that one as my own either because a friend gave that
That's
one
why
to me.
we can share it.
And it's just been a huge hit. And that's I usually typically make it for like family functions and stuff. Oh, you know what's a really good recipe? And I haven't had it. We haven't had it in forever.
Okay.
And is my grandpa, my mom's dad, used to make chop suey.
I knew you were going to say that. I don't
Yeah.
care for it.
I
It's-
love it.
it's
It's so
okay.
wonderful.
I'll eat it.
Oh, I love it. It's so good. And my mom would make it every once in a while. It's one of the things that my mom would make that I love.
I never really liked chop suey. I know it was like always like a big to do. We're gonna make chop suey. We're gonna. And it's
Yeah.
like, I don't really like
Yeah.
chop suey. Now maybe I would like it more as an
I wonder
adult.
if you might like it
because
now.
I probably haven't had it since I was a teenager.
That's true.
So I'd have to try.
I think it's super yummy, yeah.
Well, I've
So I'll
got.
have to make it sometime.
That's
Because
true.
one year my mom hates to cook, right? And one year my brother who lives in Minnesota comes like every other year, Christmas and Thanksgiving. So when it's his year to come for Thanksgiving, my mom was like, "Oh, I gotta cook." You know, she doesn't really. My mom makes a really good turkey too, but I don't know, she just never liked to cook.
Yeah.
So she's like, "I'm not making a turkey this year. I'm gonna make chop suey."
Was this at your house?
No, it was at her house. It was at their house. And she's like, "I'm not cooking a turkey. I'm making chop suey." And she wanted to serve chop suey for Thanksgiving, and we were all like, "Excuse me." We were all like super offended. We're like, "You can't have chop suey for Thanksgiving."
I have a vivid memory of Dan being at our house, and
Yeah.
we made chop suey at our house.
No, it was at Momo's.
Well, we
And-
also made it at our house once.
So that's when Dan smoked the turkey in the smoker. So we still had turkey. And then if you wanted
Yeah.
chop suey, she made chop suey. So that was kind
I
of a
recall
crazy Thanksgiving.
But
at
that
my
smoked
mom's
turkey was
house.
delicious.
Oh, the smoked turkey is incredible.
Delish.
I've been trying to ask Olivia what she puts in her mac and cheese because people put things in their mac and cheese instead of just eating it plain. She says you know what she puts in her mac and cheese.
Oh, you never
She won't
heard.
tell me. Her response is, "Girl, quit trying to out me in the podcast."
No, I don't know what it is.
She doesn't know.
Cheez-Its.
I don't put nothing. You know what
My
I put?
dad puts hot
People
dogs
put
in
hot
it.
dogs all the
Ew,
time.
and ketchup.
You know what I put?
Oh, it's ketchup. That's what it is.
She puts ketchup.
It's
Figured
ketchup.
it out.
Can you imagine ketchup in your mac and cheese?
Yes.
It's disgusting. My mom,
You
my
eat
dad,
it
and
that
my
way?
No.
my dad and my sister do. Liv does.
Why
At
would you
daycare-
ever ruin your mac and
This
cheese
is-
with ketchup?
This is an old memory. Daycare. Gonna take you way back. Okay. Take you back to Bonnie's, if you will.
Yep.
And we would be sitting around that little table, and we'd have mac and cheese or whatever.
Right.
And usually hot dogs. And I don't like hot dogs, so I
No,
didn't get
I've
any of
never
those.
liked
I
hot
would just
dogs.
get extra mac and cheese
Just have some mac and cheese.
and whatnot.
Did she make
and-
the Kraft macaroni and cheese?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's my favorite. It's gotta be
And
the box.
gotta
Kraft
be
mac
the-
and cheese.
gotta
Isn't that
be.
ridiculous?
I
I
don't-
don't know. I like some Velveeta
Nope.
shells.
No.
Don't get that shit out of my face.
that away from me.
Shit
It's
out of
gotta
my
be
face.
that crappy
I don't
box.
want that liquid. That
Honestly,
powder.
though, I don't think I can eat it anymore though, because when I worked at Pepsi, that's what I would eat on my lunch break at 11.
Yeah,
Really?
nope.
And yeah, so
I
it's
want
Like
that.
a like an instant shells and cheese. I've had that. If you get the white cheddar,
It does taste really good.
That's actually a lot better, and I've had that for my lunch. And you're right, I've had it too many times, and not really. But you actually can't even find it buy anymore ever since COVID. So
Gasp.
yeah, they quit making the white cheese.
Nope. I want that powdery
Me too.
goodness.
Me too. Delicious. You gotta have 2% milk. Can't do 1%
Oh,
skim.
that's true.
It ruins
Well,
it.
sometimes you can do skim. You can get by. I can get by. But it's
1%
not as
is
good.
better. But I will specifically go buy a little container of 2% if I'm going to make
Yeah.
mac and cheese because it's then Liv is so happy because she gets leftover milk.
Because this happened when we had the chair bedbug incident.
yes,
That we were all running around and none of us had eaten, and Sam, our savior, with the 2% milk she had
specifically picked
bought.
it up to make the mac and cheese, and we needed comfort food, and we were like so
Thank God.
happy to
Make that
have.
mac and cheese.
Why does that make you so happy to have mac and cheese? I
It's
don't
just
know.
like childhood.
after I had surgery and you're feeling kind of blah, and I'm like, I just want the mac and
I know.
cheese.
See, that's when I always call my mom and I'm like, Mom, I just want chicken noodles.
right.
I mean, literally, the one time, like, not too
Absolutely.
long ago, I wasn't feeling good. I had a whole day, all these stomach issues and whatnot.
Yeah, she was
And I
pretty
called my mom and I was like, man, I just really want some chicken noodle soup.
That's
that
the
night,
best.
she brought it over.
And it
Aw,
cracks
what a
me
great
up.
mom.
It cracks me up because she can't make a small amount of it.
right.
Because they have no
She's got to
recipe.
make a vat of it.
Right,
Yeah.
she has no recipe, and your mom is like you, like one of many.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
she's
So-
eight, yeah, one of
It's
eight.
really hard to
No,
my
seven.
Mom,
Seven.
my
Oh,
mom's
she is one of
struggling to not make tons
Yes.
and tons. Yeah.
So
yeah.
she only knows how to do the chicken noodle soup recipe for like 12 people,
Yeah.
and
which is
and-
awesome.
Right.
To get some leftovers.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. For
When
sure.
we were living there
lunches.
before we bought our house after we graduated, and she made that, and then there was like Tupperware dishes of it. I'd be like, I was eating that shit all the time.
all the
I was
time.
like thrilled. I was like, this is great.
That was your favorite soup as a kid was chicken noodle. That was the only soup I think you would eat.
Yeah.
You would eat chicken.
I then expanded my horizons
Yeah.
to tomato.
Yep.
And
If you had it grilled cheese.
we would go to Tony's
Yeah. Oh.
and get that potatoes.
When Tony's was in Muscogee, they had that yummy potato soup. Loved it.
Oh my god, I've completely forgotten.
What?
The broccoli cheddar soup.
Oh, you love
From the
that.
Bread Co.
You love that.
Oh, yeah.
They got good chicken and wild rice too. Their soups are pretty good. Yeah.
That broccoli cheddar soup.
Totally.
You
agree.
get to pick two.
But I gotta tell
broccoli
you,
cheddar soup and the Ferrante chicken sandwich.
ooh, yummy. I gotta tell you, the soups at Olive Garden are pretty incredible.
Are they?
Oh my gosh, they're super yummy. Have you ever go and just get soup and salad? Yum. So yummy.
I just really like the salad.
Did you guys ever hear about this little lady who did she was like a food critic? But it was in a little tiny town, and so she went to this new restaurant called the Olive Garden.
Oh god.
And oh my god, have you guys ever heard this?
No.
She wrote a review for like the newspaper, and it's so adorable. It's so funny. And she wrote this wonderful review of the Olive Garden when it opened in this town. I gotta find this. It's fantastic. I gotta find it. I'll post it. It is a hoot. It is an absolute hoot to read. You'll love it. You
That's
will love
excellent.
It.
Well,
Okay.
God bless America.
Yep, yep.
That is so funny. Now, do we say our secret
I
sauce?
don't think we said a secret sauce.
No.
Okay, I've got it. Pumpkin sauce.
Pumpkin
Now, you might think that sounds terrible, but I was kind of Googling fall sauces since we're talking about fall recipes.
Right.
And it was like, yeah, there's a pumpkin, you can make a pumpkin sauce and you can toss it with like your squash noodles or zucchini noodles or whatever, and it's supposed to be very tasty. And I was like, oh, okay. Pumpkin sauce it is.
Yep.
So there we go.
That does sound good.
It does sound pretty good, right? Now, if you don't like pumpkin, that's a shame, but.
Well, it could be any,
true.
like, I still think it could be any squash.
Exactly. It may not necessarily be
pumpkin.
a pumpkin. It could
Because
be.
it could be a butternut squash. And butternut
butternut
squash
squash,
is
ooh,
delicious.
That is very, very good. I love butternut squash.
Well, I got a couple leftovers I need to address real quick.
Oh, okay. Well, I do have bad news because
Oh.
we went to the Brewfest last weekend and
This is devastating.
J-Dog,
This is I'm not okay.
J-Dog gave us the devastating news that O'Fallon Brewery has gone out of business and we can no longer get our favorite beer of all time, the vanilla pumpkin beer.
They didn't just go out of business. They closed. They sold the building.
That's
they
pretty much-
auctioned their equipment.
That's pretty much happens when you go out of business.
No, well, but there's no hope.
Isn't that as if, oh
There's
yeah,
no
yeah,
hope.
they're not coming back. There's no coming back from that.
You know what I mean? If it's
Yeah.
like 4204, the brewery who used to make the assaulted
Caramel, yeah,
pecan.
can't get that
Oh
anymore.
my god,
Yeah.
my favorite beer
That was
of
your
all
fave.
time.
Yeah.
They're closed, but I still drive by the building. The equipment's still there.
Hope someday.
Someday.
That the Oompa Loompas are in there.
No.
Making some more salted caramel beer.
You're gonna catch me like Grandpa Joe. Fucking school.
Nobody ever comes in. Nobody ever comes out.
But beer keeps coming on the shelves.
That's all I need. That's all I need.
Yep, that's what we're hoping for. But yeah, no R.I.P. vanilla pumpkin beer. That makes us hilarious.
I don't know.
Devastation.
If we knew this, we should have stocked up last year.
I would have stopped.
Well-
I think I have some still in my fridge. So
Oh, do you actually?
I think I might. We're gonna have to have a R.I.P. vanilla pumpkin beer party. I'm so sad. So
This is the best news I've heard all day.
Maybe
So-
they have some like stored somewhere, and this year they're just gonna sell the last.
we're gonna like
of it.
start hunting around all the different stores. I gotta go to that little liquor
Right.
store in Muscogee and see what they got.
Well, they have my new, I guess my favorite beer right now is the Four Hands Brewery, which is in St. Louis. And I
Okay.
love that brewery actually because that's one that's 2 floors and the upper floor has all these arcade games and they're free
Oh,
to play.
interesting.
So they got skee
I've
ball.
never been there.
They got skee ball and like
Oh.
Super Mario and all this kind of stuff and you can like
Fun.
play like the things for free. But they have, I think it's called like Absinthe of Light or something like that. And it's like a chocolate peanut butter stout.
Oh yeah,
my God.
that's pretty delicious.
Delicious.
Yeah.
Now they also
I
make
did get a nice peanut butter stout down in.
Yeah, that was
That
okay.
was pretty good, but we were on a mission and we wanted to find a new favorite beer. We didn't find one.
Well, it was a little toasty.
Yeah,
it was a little
fair. It
warm,
was hot.
so it was kind of tough.
Yeah.
But I will say that Four Hands also makes, and I don't know if they'll make it again this year because I saw it at the Schnucks last year. Got a little 4-pack, delicious.
Okay.
They call it the Fat Elvis.
Oh.
And it's chocolate peanut butter, banana,
Oh. That's hilarious.
chocolate peanut butter, banana.
Oh, we'll have to check that out.
It was delicious.
That's kind of fun. Now I am holding out for White Rooster.
Yeah.
Makes a very good pumpkin beer.
Yes, they do.
And I do love their pumpkin beer, so I'm gonna hold out and wait for them to, because they make it homemade and you got to
Yeah.
wait for the pumpkins and you know it's a whole process. So theirs usually comes out a little later, which is fine because
That's fine.
I'll hold out and go
That's
get me
okay.
some as soon as it's ready.
I know, but
So R.I.P. O'Fallon Brewery
devastated.
and the vanilla pumpkin.
Devastated.
It is. It's
I-
upsetting.
There's a hole in my heart.
It's a whole lot.
check. At the end of the year, we'll do an in memoriam,
in memoriam.
and we'll.
Vanilla
Cobblepot
pumpkin beer.
and Larry,
Larry.
and the fucking vanilla pumpkin beer.
beer is number one. Oh, that's hilarious. Okay, what were you gonna say? You said you had to address a few
Oh
things.
yeah, okay. A couple leftovers here.
Okay.
So when we last episode,
Yes.
we had the ghost stories they actually told, and we actually mentioned, I think on our first spooky beef, we had said like, oh, did we talk about the like ghost experience of like the hallway and all this stuff? Okay. And I got multiple listeners came back to me and said, no, you didn't tell the story.
Oh,
But
sure thought I did. Okay.
but I went back and I checked the facts. 5 a.m. phone call. We 100% told this story, and I knew it was gonna be on that one. I knew it was gonna be on 5 a.m. phone call because we said that the fucking ghost took the cards out of my wallet.
It's
so then
true.
then we had to tell how the couch was haunted. Now I'll say we haven't had any issues since. We
And
have
since
not
you told
had
them
issues
that we're
since.
gonna have to live
Right.
together and everybody's gonna behave.
So
You have to be quiet. Yes.
So if
yes.
you want to hear that story, you're gonna have to go back and listen to the 5 a.m. phone
Oh,
call.
there you go. It's on. You know what episode it's on? It's on the 5 a.m.
on
phone
5
call.
a.m.
Okay.
phone call.
All right. So
What a
listener,
fucking
listener,
wild ride.
You stand corrected.
Yeah, wrong.
Wrongo.
So
Okay.
that was my main leftover. I don't think I had anything else on the leftover side of things, but I do have here Ash facts about food. I think you're just gonna put down a couple things that's like, well, Ashley's a very good cook. She can give us little tidbits, little things. I know we discussed the better than bouillon.
Better than bouillon.
That's
If
Game
you are
changer.
looking for anything that requires bouillon, put better than bouillon
Instead.
in it.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
I forget to say this every time, but I cannot put a little question above the comment section anymore. I used to be able to be like, "What's your beef?" You know, because
Right.
to encourage people to send in their
But
beef.
Spotify.
Spotify
is
has
stupid.
changed it.
Yes.
Can't do it. So, friendly reminder: send in your beef and send in your recipes.
Yeah. Hit me up.
Yeah, send
God
them in.
knows, especially if it involves a crock pot.
That's what I'm saying.
I
That's
am
what I'm
all
saying.
in.
Ashley, we're back to
Hit
you,
us with
Ashley.
some more tips. What do you got?
Always sear your meat,
See, I didn't know that rule,
Beforehand?
and I do not sear my meat before I throw it in the crock pot.
especially like any crock pot meals, that kind of stuff. You sear it, you get a good Maillard reaction on it, which a Maillard reaction is what creates like that crust on any meat. So like when you sear steak, you get like that brown crust on it. It's the deliciousness, and it also sticks to the pan. And then what you do is you want to deglaze the pan if you're like doing anything where you've seared meat, which means you pour some sort of liquid in it while it is hot and scrape all that good bit off, and you get all the really good flavors and stuff on that have been like searing
Stuck on there.
stuck
yeah,
on the
yeah.
pan.
You put that in your crock
This
pot with
feels
your stuff. Yeah.
This feels a little advanced for me.
That was some fancy words.
Yeah, it is. It is fancy. It's basically when the pan's hot, pour liquid in it, and then scrape it off.
And get those scrapings in
Okay.
there. Yeah.
Okay.
And then
I've got tomato paste here. I don't know what it about
if you're looking to add like, and you're making your own pastas or anything like that, always put like a tablespoon of tomato paste in first and cook that with like your onions and garlic and whatnot, because it'll give a brighter tomato flavor without having a lot of the acidity and whatnot. So it just makes it a lot more deeper flavor. Salt all your meat. Salt it all.
Meat.
No one likes a bland piece of chicken breast or anything like
Sure.
that. You want some salt on there. Don't be afraid. Hit it with it. I'm trying to think of what else.
I mean, those are good.
I have a good tip for you.
Oh, here, ready.
If you were making tuna noodle casserole,
Do not forget the tuna.
the tuna in.
Oh, you if you have instant ramen, you can zhuzh it up and make it like real fancy with very simple like things. Basically, soft boil an egg, 6 minutes in boiling water. 6 minutes exact. No more, no less. 6 minutes.
6 minutes shall be the time. 7 is way out.
It
Four
will
is
give
way
you
out.
the perfect soft boiled egg.
Yeah. Ooh.
And then you
6
put
minutes is
6
a soft boiled
minutes.
What
Okay.
is it? What is it?
6 minutes in boiling water.
Okay.
Don't put it in there before the water is boiling.
That's how you do a hard boiled.
Yeah. Don't put it in before the water is boiling.
So you take it out in 6 minutes, and what do?
You put it immediately in ice water
And then
and let it sit and
Okay.
cool.
Okay.
And then when it's done, you can chip off the, eggshell.
Yeah.
And then you have a soft boiled egg. But if you want to, like, soft boiled egg is just that it's runny in the
Yeah.
middle.
Yeah.
Then you
but I
put
want
it
to
in
eat that
your
while it's
ramen.
warm.
No, you put it in your ramen.
You put it in your
But see,
ramen.
I don't want it cold.
The ramen will warm it
The
up.
ramen will warm it up.
Oh
So,
my
because
God.
if you want to,
Ashley, you're a
Yeah.
goddamn genius.
Listen, okay, actually, listener, this is my fun fact. It's not very good. We don't get the shit ramen because I don't like
we
that
don't.
kind of ramen. I don't know what it's
we
called.
get
What
fancy,
is-
it's
it called?
shin black.
No,
ramen.
no, the bad kind. Is it top ramen?
Oh, it's top
shit
ramen. Top
Shit
ramen, Marshawn ramen.
Right. I don't care for it. But we get Shin, Shin, Shin ramen, which you can get now at like the Walmart sometimes in the Schnucks. But we usually go to Pan Asia.
Specifically, shin black ramen.
It's like the
know
beef
you
ramen.
like that.
There's like a little flavoring packet in there. It's delicious. Now I've recommended this to multiple people. Only one friend has come back and been like, "That was amazing," and it was listener Katie. God bless her.
Oh, awesome.
And she also,
But Abby, you know what? If you even help one person, your job
true.
is done.
but you get that. That's the instant ramen that you get. First of all, that's delicious on its own. And then Ashley zhuzhes it up.
Yeah, if I want to get real fancy and like turn it into a full meal.
Do you put better than ramen in? I mean,
no, better than
Ramen, better than bouillon.
I don't. But I'll make like I've made like we get bulgogi beef.
oh,
So
that's,
I'll make
that's
bulgogi.
delicious.
You
I'll
know
make
the
the
bulgogi.
bulgogi
That's super
beef,
delicious,
and then
yes.
I'll put sesame seeds, and then do Korean marinated soft boiled eggs. So I put the soft boiled eggs after they're boiled and whatnot.
Okay,
I
so
put
now
it
she's made me
in
hungry.
soy sauce and green. It's a little marinade
Yeah,
and
yeah.
whatnot, and I let that sit for about an hour or two until it turns like all brown, and then you cut open that egg, you put that in the ramen, you put your cooked bulgogi, put some. I usually cut up some like green onions and whatnot. I've done
Some sesame seeds.
sesame seeds. If you have bamboo shoots, you can put some bamboo shoots in there. I haven't done that one yet, but that's one that's on my list of things to do.
Oh my God.
So yeah, and then you just throw that all on top of your instant ramen, and oh my God, now you have a really, really nice meal that was super quick to make.
Mother, you don't even know.
It sounds amazing, and
It is.
let me know when you're making that, and I'll be over.
The ramen. Yeah.
Do I have time to tell you this one thing? Because the last 3 episodes we've talked about the baby hippo,
Mudang.
and then last time I told you about Pesto, the baby, huge baby
Pesto.
Penguin.
Penguin.
Emperor penguin.
Are you gonna bring up the third
I already
one?
know. I already know who this is. Go.
Okay.
Hit me with
Who
it.
do you think it is?
I already know because I know what your favorite animal is.
There's a baby seal.
Yeah. What's the seal's name?
Oh shit! I didn't bring that one up. They're doing the rotund table. And
Yes.
the little baby animals are all
Yes.
getting a spot at the rotund Knights of the Rotund table.
It's true.
Biscuits.
Oh.
Okay. So
Biscuits,
yes.
the baby seal.
So yes, there's a new baby seal named Biscuits.
Oh.
That's adorable.
Bless him.
But wait till you see this picture. This is a story about Nibby, the beaver, and it is very photogenic.
Oh.
Look how cute it is.
Oh my god!
Look at
It's
it.
just like I just want to tell you a story.
Oh my god.
Save that picture. We have to post.
Oh, I
that.
gotta post it.
Oh my God.
This poor baby beaver was like just a few days old, weighing like 1 pound. It was it was found alongside a busy road in like Massachusetts, and no parents in sight. You know, said the rescuer, and so they like rescued it. And like the government then like wanted to make them release it into the wild.
Oh, it's a baby.
Yep, and they had it at like a little shelter. It's so cute. It's so dark cute.
Puppies.
And
It really is doing the uppies.
so it's so cute, and so they were like really afraid to like release it back out into the wild, but the government was like, you must release it, and so the social media was at work and was like, don't make them release it or something, which is surprising because usually it's like the other way around, like you can't keep it.
Yeah.
But when they're babies, they can't fucking fend for
Right.
itself. I'm not gonna let nature take its
Well,
goddamn
if they
course
can-
with this
but the thing
photogenic
is-
beaver.
If they can get it to, like, get fostered by
Well,
another.
what ended up
adult
happening,
beaver.
I guess there was enough people that were really upset about
Okay,
the
okay,
government
good,
intervening or whatever, said that the rescue family could keep it as an educational beaver, and so it's allowed to stay
Oh.
for educational purposes. I'm not really sure.
It's gonna build so many dams in that house.
I will say,
Oh, they showed it. It was like grabbing everything in the house and like shoving it up against a window, like making this cute little dam. I saw a video of it. Oh my god, it's the cutest thing.
I will say, Massachusetts government, no, not your best moment. Not your best moment.
Right.
Now,
Place
I,
like the Salem witch trials happened.
I will say, it's true. I will say that I cannot hear the name Massachusetts without like giggling internally. Because I saw somebody call it massive two shits.
Massive two shits.
The child within is still giggling.
Yeah.
Well, here I've just read this. It said that the rescue family would like to take her to towns that are having problems with beavers, and that they are considering euthanizing the beavers, so that they can educate them and make people fall in love with beavers.
Yes.
I've fallen in love. She's so freaking cute. I can't get over
I am on board with this baby animal celebrity bit.
too, me
Like,
too.
It's so fun, right?
I'm like, let's do more of this.
Yes.
It's
More of it.
wholesome family fun.
Yeah.
It's educational. People are learning about animals. Though I will say, Mudang is giving hippopotamuses hippopotami. Either way,
That's a good question.
they're giving them a really good name, and I feel like people are gonna now want to go up to hippopotamus.
true.
And
It's
I'm like,
true.
you don't mess with
It's
them.
a dangerous wild animal that will kill you.
I
Please
saw-
don't do that.
Please don't do that.
I saw a video of an adult hippo.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna call it a hippo. An adult hippo in like a zoo, and it kind of puts its face through the little like cage kind of thing, and the like zookeeper or whatever has the stuff that they rub on the face, and it's like it's done this its like whole life.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Sure.
That the hippo is like totally fine. You know, kind of like you'll see the symbiotic relationships with like birds will go and clean the teeth, and they don't
Sure.
like it's the same kind of thing. Like they don't care whether the human does it. And so I saw somebody comment, they're like, every day I struggle with the fact that like I cannot do this. I cannot give their face little rubs because they will fucking kill you.
Yeah, they would kill
They
you.
would
Right.
kill you.
Well, and the thing is, they're super territorial.
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
if you run into a hippo in like the wild, you probably aren't gonna outrun
You're
them
not
because
gonna
they're
make
real. People think that they're not fast. They are fast on land and off and in the water.
I said this on the last podcast, or well, maybe 2 podcasts ago. 30, 35 miles an hour, they'll fuckers will run
right.
you down.
And they're huge, so you're not surviving that. But
So-
you know what? We can enjoy the news from afar. Like, don't be
Yes,
crazy.
yes.
Just enjoy the news of the
If,
new
if
babies.
you encounter a hippo in the
love it.
wild, I'm just gonna like I don't want to victim blame, but I'm gonna say that you probably deserve it because that means you probably went on an African safari, and you should not be out there.
You should definitely not.
Don't
be
go
on
out
the
there.
wild. Yeah.
No, don't
do
go
that.
out there.
Don't do that. Stay
There's
with your
It's like the
There's
people
shit.
who go through Yellowstone and then they want to like get up close to the buffalo.
Why would you
and
do
then
that?
I'm like, why? Why?
That
You-
bison. Goodbye.
They're
Goodbye,
very
son.
huge wild animals.
They're gonna kill you.
Yes.
They're gonna kill you.
Be
And then
nice.
they get mad when they end up charging them and whatnot. And it's
Right.
like,
or they get their car destroyed. Well,
Right.
You know, don't
Well, what
don't
did you
do
expect?
that. Yeah.
What'd you
So,
expect?
but we'll just enjoy the baby
Yes,
animals
from
safely like
far.
we should. Yes. They're
let the trainers do their
loving it.
thing.
Yes.
So this episode was a little less spooky than intended, but
It's
it was
true.
fall
It's
fall
true.
recipes. Like I
But,
said, we'll
yeah.
post. We'll have a debate about what recipes we'll post. But we'll post some
Yeah. Yeah.
of the recipes. And you guys should share yours. Put them in the comments or something.
Hit us
if
up
you
with some
got
good
'em.
stuff.
Always love a good new recipe.
Always.
All right.
Always.
And Jinx, you owe me a Coke. Yeah. I don't know about you guys, but after this, I'm gonna need some serious beef.
Yep.
She's got nothing.
Bye. We only talked about food the whole thing. Nothing.
And some pumpkins. Bye.
Bye.